Hey, what's up guys? So I guess this will be walkthrough number 2 of this unit. I already have a walkthrough on the Facebook page for Single Cylinder Customs, but I had a couple things that I had to reiterate on here since I made that video and kind of get dialed in, so this will be the follow-up video. This is the Homelite Chainsaw Bike build that we got done with this past spring. I do some slow shots of it. But anyway, I guess we'll start with the power head. It's got a 1961 Homelite Zip chainsaw. It's a 77cc power head. I went through this whole thing, replaced the crank seals, cleaned the points, put a new carb on it, the whole 9 yards. It's a really clean unit. Polished up the piston, cleaned the cylinder. Runs like a top. So as you can see, this is how it's mounted into the frame, where the old bar stud used to be right here, or the bar wraparound handle I should say. Had to do some machine work to make that fit on there, but just used an old piece of tube and then made a clamp mount into the frame right there. There's another mount up top right here that mounts where the old fuel tank mount used to be. Kind of goes down right there, you can see where it's mounted. And then I've got another one where the bucking spike used to mount. It's welded to the frame, then bolted to the engine. So those 3 solid mounts really keep it in place. It's running an aftermarket Tillotson and carb on it. I tried rebuilding the one that was on there, but I never could get good pop-off pressure with it, and it never would pump fuel for some reason. So ended up just saying screw it and bought this aftermarket unit, and it was way better. Got it running pretty good, and the bore's actually a little bit bigger, so it winds out pretty good. Had a problem with the choke not locking up, so had to put this return spring on it to keep it open. So when you go to cold start it, you got to hold it down. That kind of sucks, but it's not that hard to start. Had to make a notch in the frame to clear the body so you could get in there and service it. Ended up making this air filter out of some crushed pieces of aluminum plate that I bored a hole out on, and then there's some old weed eater filter felt in there that filters it out, so it works pretty good. But yeah, all in all, that's about all that goes with the engine mounting section of it. We'll move on to the fuel. It's got a 1 gallon tank, as you can see, with I think it's a Briggs & Stratton mower tank cap on it. It's the same thread pitch for these tanks, so it fit right on. Ended up making a custom vent for it. As you can see, it works really good. And these old HL series carburetors use 1/4-inch fuel hose, so it's got 1/4-inch fuel hose going up to an adapter that just slips into the hole in the tank, and then there's Tygon that goes down, and that's how the drop down filter works into the bottom of the tank. Ended up making a custom clamp mount that just clamps to the frame. As you can see, 2 pieces of angle iron. It just sits in, and then the bungees hold it together. It's sturdy enough. It's actually really sturdy, but it's nice. You can take it apart and clean it if you ever need to and service it. I try to do that with all my builds. I try to make everything as serviceable as possible. So that worked out really good. So that pretty much covers the fuel delivery. This was a 26-inch just regular cruiser frame that I ended up doing an ape hanger swap on and put a 20-inch wheel up front. Ended up keeping the rear wheel stock. And then added the banana seat to give it that Stingray look. Kind of wanted that rat rod chopper look to it. So ended up working pretty good. So we'll move on to the brakes. This is your rear brake right here that goes all the way back to just a regular clamp brake. And they work pretty decent. It's still running the original coaster brake. So when you use both of them at the same time, it works really good. Added the Workman bicycle basket. As you can see, it's really nice for jaunting around town, carrying all your gear. So it came in handy. This one right here is your throttle. It's just a shortened lever. Runs down, comes underneath the tank, wraps back around, comes up. And then I made a custom lever system that I had to fabricate that bolts to the handle right here. And there's the cable end stop. There's a cable connection right there welded to the arm. So when you pull the lever on the handlebars, it moves the stock saw trigger. So that's all factory stuff. from the trigger down, which is pretty nice. The other stuff is all custom fab that I ended up doing. So that was pretty cool. That worked out good. That throttle really worked out. You need to have a good heavy duty return spring on it though, so the cable doesn't move independently, or so it does move independently from the sheathing. But I haven't had any problems out of it yet. The kill switch is still integrated on to the front right here. As you can see, you can also choke it if you get an emergency, and that'll kill it and shut it off. So from there, we'll move on to the gearing. If you look on the Facebook page, you can see how this chain tensioning setup works. It's got a skateboard wheel on it, and you can adjust it right here on the old bar stud mounts. That's slotted right there, so you just loosen those up, and there's a set screw down here, and that pivots up and down on the chain to add tension or take tension off. So that's how that works. We'll go to the other side. I'll kind of show you inside of the chain guard, kind of how that sits. But like I said, if you get on the Facebook page, you can see how it's constructed without the chain guard on it. It'll give you a better understanding. So we'll go with gear ratios. Gear ratios are very important. This engine has a max RPM, I think, of 6,000. That's a 10-tooth sprocket on the clutch. I had to machine it down a little bit and then slip it over the clutch drum and weld it to the clutch drum. So the nice thing is you can still take this clutch off, grease it up, and throw it back on there and service it. Very important. That sprocket is from a motorized bike drive sprocket on the engine side. It's a 10-tooth. It's 410H chain. It's run into a 32-tooth, which is behind this. As you can see, it's also a motorized bike sprocket set up for 410H chain, obviously. And then one of the differences from the original video is I've got a set of cast mounted bearings on here now, as opposed to the thin steel mounted ones. The thin steel mounted ones warped and it flung the chain off on one of the test rides I made, so I had to completely redo this part of it. That was a real pain. It really sucked, but it was well worth it. So I made a new bracket for these bearings to mount to. That's a 5/8 bore shaft, or I'm sorry, those are 5/8 bore bearings. It's a 5/8 shaft running to another 10-tooth drive sprocket on this side. This is another front drive sprocket off of a motorized bike 2-stroke engine. And he's running down to a 44-tooth. This is another add-on that I made. I had one of those clamp-on sprockets with the rubber on them that clamps rubber on the spokes, which they suck. It's hard to get them trued up, so I ended up swapping it out for this clamshell adapter sprocket, which is a 44-tooth unit. That was well worth the money. And as you can see, we've got a skateboard wheel as a tensioner, so you can just loosen it up and move it up and down to relieve tension or add tension right there. So I've got it fairly loose, so it works pretty good the way it is. So the total output ratio on this machine, if you divide this one by that one and then this one by the other side, multiply the two together, you get your number to 1, and that's your output ratio. On a 26-inch wheel, it's running, I think it's 14-to-1, right at 14-to-1, so it's really, really good midway. It's got good takeoff, but it's got pretty good top end too. I've gotten 37 miles per hour out of this unit, so it rips pretty hard for what it is. Still has the factory pedal crank, so you can pedal it just like a bicycle. If you want to help it get uphill, or if you run out of gas or have mechanical issues whatsoever, you can still get it home, which is pretty nice. So very convenient. But I'll get some more shots in here. You can see a little bit better. Like I said, get on the Facebook page and you'll see the complete build tutorial on this whole thing. There's a bunch of pictures and video of me constructing it. So that basically covers it. I'm not gonna lie, it was a royal pain in the ass getting this thing to work, this whole orientation to work. It was a lot of work and a lot of trial and error and getting everything squeezed in there to where you could still pedal it, but to where it looked decent enough. I thought about mounting it over the rear wheel and some other spots, but this just turned out to be the best option, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I put in the work because it really turned out nice. So only thing left to do is really just to paint it. I think I'm going to paint it blue and then scuff it up, make it kind of look patina like the engine is. But for now, she'll do. So if anybody's got any more questions on something in particular, please comment or message me directly on the Facebook page. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you got. I promise we'll get a riding video of it as soon as I get somebody to record me. So that'll be the next video of this, so stay tuned if you want to see that. And we'll catch you guys later.